Yes, we are live in Boston. Since the last time we talked to you guys, we saw Stone Temple Pilots twice.
Yep.
We were on a choo-choo train. We slept in a hotel room for maybe 4 hours.
At most.
The fine folks here in Boston gave us a great suite at a really nice hotel. We saw the suite for what, 4 hours, 4.5 hours?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That was it. It wasn't even like you could go back after the show maybe and catch a snooze. Pack all your stuff when you leave for the studio.
Yeah.
So we had to it was like fleeing. We're on the lam. We've been on the lam for 2 days.
And for what reason, we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, we love coming up to Boston, but we would like to come up to Boston and actually see Boston.
Yeah, that would be nice. We usually don't. We see the studio.
No.
Maybe a venue of some sort. And then a hotel room for 10 minutes.
And then do the radio show and then leave immediately, because everything has to be immediate with us. I don't really understand that.
Yeah,
Show's over. We have 15 minutes to get to the train station.
Yeah.
To go back to New York.
Hurry up. We're going to be late.
To rush home to do what?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Why couldn't we hang in the hotel? Hang here for 2 days. I love Boston.
I would love to be here another day.
I saw that hotel room last night, and I wanted to buy a Stone Temple Pilots record and break it, because I missed the hotel all day to get blown off by that band. I was so irritated yesterday.
You were irritated, right?
Oh, was I cranky?
When we were doing interviews yesterday, not interviews, we were hanging out on the air up here in Boston on WBCN, and I commented that it's such a douchey move by bands. But obviously they had the River Rave up here, and the headliner was Stone Temple Pilots. And then it comes down to, like, interviewing Stone Temple Pilots, and they blew us off.
Of course.
And we all knew they were going to blow us off, because on the train, Kenny's like, and you got an interview with Stone Temple Pilots at 7:30.
Like, sure, that's going to happen.
I didn't even prepare, because I knew we weren't going to be talking to Stone Temple Pilots.
Of course not.
And then, so they blow off any acknowledgement that Boston, this fine radio station, brought them to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes time for them to hit the stage. And next thing you know, the BCN backstage passes aren't good anymore. The band has decided anyone with a BCN pass needs to flee the area.
Get out.
And go back into catering.
Yeah.
The whole reason they're in Boston was because of what this station did. Bringing them to town. So Jimmy was completely annoyed. He's like, I'll be in the limo. He just left.
I didn't want to see. Look, I don't want to trash him because BCN brought him up there. Great. I didn't want to see that prima donna sissy walk. I don't care if they dragged him out of the truck under a sheet. I didn't want to look at him. I hate musicians. I hate them. Comics are easy. Here's 10 of you. Here's a sandwich. You're going on a little while.
Yeah.
We're just happy to be there. I hate musicians.
Look, I love STP. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. But, wow, we saw some things in the last 2 days. I mean, Scott Weiland's taking this whole rock star thing a bit seriously.
Is she? Clear the area. Really, Joan Crawford? You want to sashay through alone? Oh, you old sissy. He really bothered me. All right. Terrific.
Well, on Saturday night at the PNC, I mean, you know, we could finally tell the folks what happened, because we were down there for the K-Rock version of this show.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, people were getting a bit antsy.
Oh, a bit?
A bit antsy at the PNC Art Center in Homedale, New Jersey.
We got on stage and told the fine folks that STP was going to be out in mere minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes to STP, so...
and that was right after Filter.
Hang out, yeah.
Filter, just amazing. Richard Patrick, just an amazing vocalist, and, man, they did a great job. Yeah, then Stone Temple Pilots 2 minutes later. We walk off stage, and because I love the band so much, I ran to my seats. I'm like, I got to check this out. And an hour and easily 15 minutes later, there's still no band. The booing's getting louder at the PNC Arts Center.
Yeah.
One of the security people that works for the venue goes, "We are heading toward a riot. We are heading toward a riot." He openly said, "This is not a good situation."
And what's the reason? Do they think it's cool to make the crowd that paid good money sit there for an hour and a half?
I hate them.
And just wait after they've cut off the beer supply, So now you're just sitting there. You're starting to get a hangover because you stopped drinking, and you're just getting all rambunctious.
Yeah.
But is that a good idea? Do they sit there and just go, "This is great. Let's just, completely annoy our audience"?
Well, I mean, that's a good question because I looked at Kenny. Kenny was sitting with us, and I said, "Kenny, let's go backstage. Something's up." So we run back to the backstage area just in time to see some S going down.
Some fireworks.
Some fireworks. Where's Kenny? He's got to help me through this story. If you can find a microphone that works.
Okay.
Wait, let me
Here, GA.
I don't know how to turn that on. Hold on.
Wait. Let me ask you a question.
Try this. Yeah.
Were the
Four.
Were the K-Rock passes still good back then?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so I might have seen what happened. All right.
Why? What happened?
No, you guys tell the story. But
Right.
Let's just say that there are certain things that happened at K-Rock that got reported at BCN. Maybe the band didn't want BCN people around.
See some more shenanigans.
Yeah, it could be it.
Yeah, but I mean, I was thinking about that. But isn't this kind of cool for the band?
Sure.
The story I told up here yesterday.
Probably not.
Why not? They're rock stars. This helps you out down the road.
Conflict?
Whatever. So we go backstage just in time to see one of the DeLeo brothers pointing at. There were two tour buses backstage at the PNC, and one of the DeLeo brothers, all set and ready to go on stage. They were supposed to be on an hour and 15 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. He's pointing at this tour bus and going, "Come on out, Axel! Come on, Axel!" Screaming, "Come on out, Axel!"
Well, he was pulling an axle.
And it was Scott Weiland in his own tour bus.
Yeah.
And there was a huge monster of a human being standing right in front of the entrance to the tour bus, not allowing the DeLeo brother, one of the DeLeo brothers, to board the bus of his bandmate.
There would have been a brawl.
There would have been a brawl. And is that right, Kenny? That's what we saw?
Yes.
Get right up on it.
Yeah, you have to, get...
Yeah. Yes.
I still can't hear you.
Working.
Pretend it's a perp you're trying to be polite to.
Huh?
They said it was 2, 3, 4, no?
God,
3, 4.
yeah.
4.
We're all counting in the studio. 2, 3, 4. It should be working, but I don't know.
Kenny.
Good morning. Is this working?
Sort of.
No, it's not.
Get really close.
Well, my big nose is touching it.
I think it's just being picked up on the other mics.
Want to try this one?
Yeah, go over there. Danny, talk into that one.
Hello?
Yeah, that's 4.
I'm 4. Kenny's 5.
Huh? That might be 1. Someone told me it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you're
that
talking
way.
into the bottom of it.
Kenny, aim it down.
There you go.
There you go.
Now twist
All
it
right.
around. No, the other way. There you go. Now talk right into there. You go.
Yeah, we were like I Spy.
Oh my God!
that was all loud.
we were like I Spy backstage
Yeah.
with all the mystery and intrigue.
So yeah, one of the DeLeo brothers pointing at the bus and screaming, "Come on out, Axel!" Because
Yeah.
Scott Weiland wasn't ready to hit the stage yet.
The bass player.
All right, I was just saying one of the DeLeo brothers. That's fine. And then there was a girl outside the bus. I don't know what kind of connection she had to Scott Weiland, but this same DeLeo brother called her the C word and said, "Get off my effing tour, you bitch." And then
Nasty.
"Get off my effing tour. I don't want you on this tour." And then he started screaming because the DeLeo brothers are from Jersey. They're saying, "I can't believe he's going to do this in my effing hometown. My effing hometown. Come on, Axel. Come on." Screaming, losing his mind. Next thing you know, the tour bus opens and Scott Weiland walks out looking like Weekend at Bernie's. Just like, "What's up? I'm ready to go." All decked out in his rock and roll attire. Right, Kenny?
Yeah, a white jacket, a big pimp hat.
Huge oversized glasses.
Yeah, and he was more wobbling.
Yeah,
Was he wobbly getting off the bus? Yeah.
Big time. And then he wobbles to the backstage area. And now this is at 10:30. Filter got off around 9:15. And the curfew for the PNC is at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's backstage. And now his woman's getting into it with DeLeo because now she's hanging with Scott Weiland. and goes, "He called me a C. He called me a C." And then DeLeo right in front of him, Weiland's like, "I want you off this effing tour." And then DeLeo gets like literally a couple inches from Scott Weiland's face and goes, "Can you even do the show, man? Can you do the show?" And then Weiland either nodded or said something. We didn't hear that, right?
I think he just like lit a cigarette and walked away. Like he didn't even acknowledge them.
And then all of a sudden he just starts walking to the left side of the stage. The DeLeo brother walked to the right side of the stage. And then if you were in the audience, literally after this whole commotion that went down backstage, they were playing their first song a mere couple minutes later. Like nothing happened.
Wow.
And he was really slow on that stage in Jersey. I've seen Stone Temple Pilots a lot. He was a bit slow, a bit lethargic.
Well, they must not have been doing the old, let's get together and I'll sing and you play and I'll put my head on your shoulder.
No, none of that.
This is an Opie and Anthony exclusive report.
Okay.
You won't hear this on TMZ. You only hear this info on Opie and Anthony.
Hopefully you won't even hear it on the replay with that in it.
Yeah, we'll cut that out. So, but they sounded great in Jersey, and then last night they hit the stage on time, and I got to say it, they were way better last night. Way better. What we saw before we had to be whisked away to our hotel room. So
I just wanted out of there at that point.
so we could get a few hours sleep before the broadcast this
Been
morning.
there for hours.
What happened? Do you think that Weiland's gynecological exam was a little better the second night than the first night?
Jimmy, you're annoyed, right?
Implying he has a vagina.
Just disgusted. I'm disgusted. I don't like musicians to begin with most of the time because I think they're prima donnas and they're most of them are coddled sissies. I don't like they had a meet and greet for the fans, people that won contests at BCN, and then the lead singer doesn't show up. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
He wasn't even at the venue.
No.
Ugh.
You know, that was the rumor last night. Is he even going to show tonight? We don't even know if he's going to show. And after hanging backstage for the last 2 days for this concert, it's very obvious to me that Weiland's not associating with anyone in the band. He's doing his own thing, showing up just in time to sing the great songs that the Stone Temple Pilots have. So it was very interesting the last couple of days.
So he's a douche.
Yep. Oh, I still love their music, but but he's definitely playing the rock and roll star.
Yeah.
Definitely playing it, and I wanted to be backstage to see what kind of shape he was in as he got off the bus, and Jimmy's like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
I couldn't hear that the band wants the backstage area cleared. Really? Of what, the station that sponsored them?
Yeah.
For what?
Why? Because they're babies.
Can't walk past them. It's not like everybody was on stage. We're backstage, and they would have walked through. You might have caught a fleeting glimpse of the band as they walked through, but no. Everybody out.
You're not allowed to do that either. So
You gotta love Sharon Osbourne. Everybody knocks Sharon, but I'm telling you something, man. Nobody on Ozfest pulls this crap.
No.
She doesn't care who you are. She'll just drag you into a room and scream at you. She doesn't care who you are. That's why Ozzy has his ass on the stage. You think she's letting Ozzy go over curfew? No. No, you're not getting racked for $15,000 because he wanted to sing Paranoid at 11:15.
Poor Ozzy.
Made me sick.
yeah, absolutely. So we're broadcasting live from WBCN here in Boston.
I don't know if we have time to get to this at one point.
Let's do it right now,
Did
Jimmy.
you see this thing that they got an email? This Scott Weiland. I can't tell you how much I despise this guy.
Well, you did like him yesterday. I don't know what happened.
Well, we were able to
Jimmy despises
I know.
Scott Weiland.
just to set up really fast. Saturday and Sunday we hung, backstage at the STP show, and what I witnessed is a band that doesn't hang out with Scott Weiland whatsoever. He travels by himself on his own tour bus. He has people that walk him to the stage. He barely has any interaction with the band before he hits the stage, and then he's whisked right off the stage onto his own tour bus, and that is it. These guys are not interacting with each other whatsoever. And I told the whole story, and it was picked up by a few places. But one of the DeLeo brothers was yelling and screaming at the tour bus the other night, calling him Axel, going, "Come on out, Axel, come on out. What are you doing? What are you doing, Axel?" And that was at the PNC when they hit the stage an hour and 15 hour and 20 minutes after Filter left the stage. And the reviews, did you read the reviews on the Saturday night show?
No.
The New York Times did a whole thing and basically said, wow, he did not look good. He didn't sound that great. What the hell was going on? And Kenny and I saw exactly what was going on. He refused to leave his tour bus for a really long time, and it drove the rest of the band, insane. But with that said, Jimmy's got some more info on Scott Weiland.
And then we stood backstage on Sunday because O&A we're bringing we're going out on stage in Boston, and they the Stone Temple Pilots would like you to everyone with BCM passes to clear the backstage area.
That has drove me nuts my entire radio career. Like you, as a radio station, you really pump a show, and look, I know Stone Temple Pilots could sell their own tickets, but if the radio station's going out of their way to help you out in any way and present you and do all this, the least you could do is allow the BCN people to kind of hang out on the stage when you're playing. Every other band will do that.
Yeah, and it's off to the side. They're not going to be bothering you.
You're not on. Yeah, you still have your own thing. There's not much interaction, but at least you got a cool spot to check out the band. It's a nice perk. If you're working for the radio station.
And as a comedian, it's amazing. We've done enough radio where the stations promote you, and it's like you're grateful to the stations for plugging you. That's why I just hate these fruity, spoiled rock. I hate them. I really do. Musicians, I'm starting to hate their guts.
Jimmy went crazy because all of a sudden they're like, if you have a BCM pass, they want you all the way back in catering, which means basically it's a worse seat than the people that are in the venue.
You're not hearing them.
No, you have to watch them on TV at that point.
Yeah.
And most of the people that did work for the radio station, they don't have actual tickets because they're assuming they could kind of check out the show on the side of the stage and stuff. They usually put a nice little area on the side of the stage like, here, enjoy the show. But in this case, they said, BCM passes, you got to go back into catering, and we need this whole area cleared because Mr. Weiland is about to leave his tour bus.
What? Yeah. There's apparently a tampon issue he was suffering. He really makes me sick.
Carried out on a stretcher.
So blew his fans off for the meet and greet. Couldn't get. Man, can't get to the venue on time. Man, I hate the music anyway. So I have zero respect for him. I understand they're good. I know they are. I hate them.
I'm a big fan of their music.
You don't like the
Huge
STP?
It does not.
Huge fan.
I hate yeah, really?
He does these impersonations.
I don't know where he gets it from.
I don't know one dumb song.
So Jimmy.
No.
So when they said clear the area, Jimmy's like, I'm out of here, just all disgusted and marched off.
I went into the car and I was writing something and I was listening to Motorhead and I was enjoying myself.
Yeah. So what do you got there, Jimmy?
The 16-year-old girl sent.
Well, you should explain this. Danny got an email from a SDP fan.
Yes, she said
because I guess she heard us talking. Sorry, Jimmy. I just wanted to help you out with the setup because she heard us talking about what we saw at the show the last couple of days.
Yeah, and she starts off by going, I had a similar experience with Scott Weiland. She's from Cleveland. And it says, I'm a 16-year-old girl, and I saw Stone Temple Pilots with my father May 20th at the State Theater in Cleveland. And there's a bunch of stuff these are the highlights. Scott Weiland would flick his cigarettes all over, and I'm sure he left flicking a cigarette to the audience. Who cares about that? But then later she goes, later in the show, Scott's shoe became untied. Instead of bending down like a normal human being, Scott did a hand signal, and a crew member ran out on stage and tied his shoe between the songs.
But that's
that's
Jimmy,
kind of a rock star thing.
That's not arrogance. He doesn't know how.
That's funny. And he goes, man, this is the life, he said. I don't even have to tie my own shoes. But that's kind of funny if he's not such a jerk-off, but he probably means it. Meanwhile, Ozzy moons the crowd. He throws water on himself. He's having a ball. And this little sissy has somebody run out and tie his shoe. 12:15, Dean, this is, I guess, after the show, Dean and Robert DeLeo came out together and hung out with the fans for probably 15 minutes and pleased every fan.
By the way, this is exactly what I observed. The DeLeo brothers could have been nicer and cooler to their fans, hanging out before the show. People like, oh, my God. I think it was Robert DeLeo was checking out Filter in Boston, and people like, I can't believe you're just hanging out, checking out Filter. Like, yeah, man, I'm a fan of these guys, and I know Richard Patrick pretty well. He was just so down to earth and cool. The drummer, I don't know his name, same thing. But anyway, go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Then Scott Weiland came out, and everyone started yelling. He blew all of us off and went on to the tour bus. I asked the DeLeo brothers if Scott was going to come out and sign for us. They said no. When they were leaving, I asked Dean DeLeo if he could take my Velvet Revolver Contraband CD on Scott's bus and have Scott sign it. He said he couldn't do that.
They're not even allowed on his bus. That's what I saw. You know, when this girl talks about a tour bus, she's talking about his individual tour bus.
So the girl and her father are leaving, and they're in the car going off on Scott Weiland. And then she said, in a last attempt to meet Scott, we drove past the parking lot, which all the fans were in. When we drove by, we noticed a crowd of about 10 people. I jumped out of the car and ran over there and then saw it was Scott Weiland. I yelled at my father to come also. We waited for Scott to sign my CD and get a picture. Between every fan he tolerated, I asked him if I could get my picture with him. He blew me off. Then before he signed everything, he just left. I ran over to the taxi he was getting in. I then got his attention.
So he was signing stuff?
For 10 people.
Okay.
And he left before he finished it.
Okay.
I ran over to the taxi he was getting in. I got his attention. I asked if he could sign my CD and get a picture with him. He said, sure. Then licked his fingers, which were messy with rib sauce. Which, all right, whatever. At least you hope that's what it was. Yeah. Not just a fan with bad timing.
Is that confirmed?
Then I handed him my Sharpie and CD. He looked at the CD and realized it was Velvet Revolver Contraband. Ew, Velvet Revolver, he said, and handed the CD back to me.
Well, the band kind of kicked him out, so
But it's for a fan.
Yeah, sign it.
Is Jerk Off refusing the residuals from the music too? Is he refusing the royalties? It's for a 16-year-old girl. This absolute
Who has to
jerk
come with
off.
her father? Give her a break.
This jerk off, this spoiled, coddled jerk off. Velvet Revolver, he said, and handed the CD back to me. I pleaded with him to just sign it, and I told him how important the CD was to me, and how I would listen to it in its entirety multiple times every day for the first year after it came out when I was in 7th grade. He still refused to sign it and then forcibly jabbed the Sharpie into my hand. Then I asked him if I could still get my picture with him, and he agreed. He put his arm around me to pose. Before my father could press the camera button, Scott ducked into the car, got into the cab, and closed the door. So she didn't even get her picture. I burst into tears. My father and I then decided to follow the cab.
Well, she's a bit obsessive.
You know what, though?
I'm trying to
She got
be on
there.
her side.
She's 16.
And
I'm 40.
And her stupid
I'm
father.
picturing a stupid father not being able to work the camera.
Exactly.
Sitting there, all right, which button? Which button? And him just going like, "I'll get out of here."
You're right. But the guy's a jerk off.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
an absolute jerk off. And they said that he had switched cabs or something a couple blocks away, so they missed him. But surprised that people couldn't follow him back to the hotel. But whatever, that's her story. And the guy was just a complete tool to her. He's exactly the way you figure he'd be. He's one of those too cool for the room, spoiled rock star.
Yeah.
I hate guys that don't treat their fans well. I hate his guts.
Yeah, we were supposed to interview them.
Of course, I
yesterday,
forgot that. They blew
That was
us.
like, not
Why
going to
would
happen.
you? Why would you?
Well,
Why
no,
would you?
it was
Just
part-
drop dead on the bus. Drop dead. Just face down on the bus.
It was part of our itinerary that we're going to interview the band. We didn't even prepare because I'm like, we're not interviewing the band.
Nope.
All you have to do is read up on these guys a little bit, and you know you're not interviewing Scott Weiland. Maybe the DeLeo brothers. You know, they seem like cool guys, but... All right, let's go to Jimmy in Michigan. Jimmy!
Hey,
Yeah.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey.
Hey, I went and saw STP back in, I don't know, what was it, 99 when the album with Sour Girl came out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Scott Weiland was just so effed up on the stage, man. He's freaking wearing leather pants and no shirt. And, of course, after the show, there was a ton of fucking fans out waiting by his tour bus, dude. He doesn't even look at him. He just walks right by 300 people waiting in the fucking...
Dude, stop cursing. You're on terrestrial radio. We want to
Nice.
hear the story.
You're just killing yourself with the cursing, Jimmy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Everyone's just waiting outside, bitter cold. I mean, I think the show was in November, freezing cold, and he just walks right by, doesn't even look at the fans. Ozzy Osbourne at Ozfest, he will come sign. Scott or Zach Wilde, he'll come sign. I mean, I've had huge stars, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul after the Damage Plan show. They'll come sign.
And dude,
Scott Weiland, he's not even a legend. STP is a wonderful band and everything. You know, their music has went south in my opinion, but
I think he's close
Have
to
the
legendary
comic
status, my friend. The guy has had a lot of hits.
He's a major rock star.
they have had a lot of hits. Their music has gone. Tell me their music hasn't gone south since the
Well,
Cure album.
considering they haven't recorded anything in 5 years, I guess you're right. But I mean, Scott Weiland went on to record some fine songs for Velvet Revolver. He's never gone away
Revolver's great.
with his songs, to be honest with you.
But to go Ew,
DeLeo
Velvet
brothers.
Roof. All right, all right.
All right,
Jimmy. God Almighty, I was with you. I tried to help you. You can't have an interaction. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, you just hit play, and when the tape runs out, we can talk. Jesus, me in Michigan, stop it. If anyone's gonna wreck this show, let it be me. But,
Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
he's still here.
I love how it
Jimmy.
annoys.
I don't mind this guy, but he just, dude, back and forth.
Maybe he's a little nervous.
I know he is.
Jimmy, I liked your show. I liked your show in Mount Pleasant.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, now Norton loves
dude,
it.
keep talking, Jim.
I know, then he stops.
Hey,
He gives me one word, and then he takes it and dozes off. I'm all patiently waiting for more compliments. But yeah, it's like I just hate rock stars like this. And when they get a reputation for doing it everywhere, look, Ozzy, I'm sure, has walked by groups of people. Everyone is. But it's like when they get a reputation for it, everyone knows who the douches are, and he's obviously one of those douches.
Yeah.
And I can't. I don't know why. I have a visceral reaction to this guy. Maybe because I don't like the music, so I can view him completely from a distance. But the way he treats his fans, to me, makes him a little jerk off. To blow off meet and greets, man, people for a meet and greet, it's a huge thing, especially with a band.
He's beyond that.
So
He's probably just fed up, and
You're right. You're probably right.
He's looking for a reason to blow it up. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Good, then don't do it. Stay home. Don't reunite.
yeah.
Don't do it. Stay in the bus. Are you behind the bus?
I don't know how the
I'm
rest.
afraid.
I don't know how the rest of the band puts up with it. I guess they're doing it for the paycheck
Oh,
because
it has to be.
because there was no interaction, none, barely on the stage, as well. It's like two separate things going on. You got Scott Weiland, the lead singer, the rest of the guys, and the rest of the guys are just putting up with his crap for what reason I don't know. That's up to them to say.
I don't know why I dislike this guy so much. I'm not saying he's not a great singer. I'm not saying they haven't been a great contributor. I'm not saying any of that.
I find him extremely interesting because you know he's just going to self-destruct.
Good.
I mean, we've seen this
Yeah,
story
he's gonna
many,
be
many
one of them.
times in the past, and I find it very interesting because even when they try to clear the area, I was like, no, I want to be in this area. I just want to see.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah, he's just a very interesting guy because he's just so self-destructive.
Yeah, I think he'll be one of the last 90s kind of grunge rocker guys to kick it. Yeah, do a little too much heroin or whatever.
Seems to be heading that way, what we
Yeah.
observed, but I don't know.
He's ticking.
Hate guys that aren't good to their fans, man.
Well, that's what bothers you, Jimmy. It's not the music; it's his attitude. I
The
mean,
music doesn't bother me at all. I mean,
even if you like the music, I think you'd still have the same reaction.
maybe
You just have a caveat. Look, I like the music, but and then you would snap.
it's a visceral reaction when I know he blows off fans and doesn't even look at them while they because I've stood on there and waited, and it's just it's stupid, but it bothers you.
And you don't like their music?
No, I don't.
I
don't think they suck.
I'm not going to go with Dead and Bloated. A lot of their stuff is poppy, but I think you might like Dead and Bloated. We'll
I've
give you a
wanted to
little
say that
taste
to
of that.
Eric for a long time.
This is Dead and Bloated.
Somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed. I am smelling like a rose that somebody gave me 'cause I'm dead and blue.
I've never heard this.
Really?
Good stuff.
It's a great song, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard this. Good song. Sure. Good song. Wave at the fans.
Yeah, he recorded
Douche.
that on a bus.
Nick in Jersey. Nick.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, so I was just listening to that clown kind of like smack talking Weiland. I was at a show of theirs I forget what show it was actually, but he's about as big as it gets, honestly, man.
So, dude, why am I a clown for smack talking him when I'm not saying he's not as big as it gets? I'm saying he's nasty. He's not good to his fans.
I feel you, and that stinks, man. That really does stink. But like,
I don't even really care about that. He's not even good to his own bandmates, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I find amazing.
So how am I a clown for smack talking him?
no, I'm sorry, man. You're not a clown. I just whatever.
It's okay.
But
I'm not hurt.
he came on stage in this gray velour suit with a red top hat, and he had girls in the crowd crying. Like, he is huge, man.
Yes.
It does. It is a bummer that he's not cool to his fans. It's not the first time we've heard that in music history. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. And dude, I know everyone has a bad day. and stuff like that. But this, because being backstage, when they had the area cleared at the request of the band, it's like it makes me. I have such a hatred for these coddled, these baby musicians. I deal with performers, dude. I'm one of them, so it's like I know what it's like to be on stage. Not on that level, of course, but it's like I just love comedians.
Great performer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this.
Entertainer.
I'm gonna read this, Jimmy. It says, yet Jimmy will tolerate Gene Simmons, who is one of the biggest D-bags of all time.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're right. Gene has a very bad reputation. I'm not saying I'm completely consistent. I've tolerated it because I've loved Gene growing up. What am I going to tell you? But Gene is more engaging to me than that. I mean, Gene, I don't think would walk by and not wave.
Yeah.
Gene may be a dickbag when it comes to like suing people and merch.
Well, it's all business.
Yeah, but I mean, is he known for blowing fans off or being completely off? Maybe he is. I don't know.
I don't think I think you're right. It's a business thing, like all the stuff, and that's where he's going to drop the hammer and be kind of a douchebag. But as far as the fans and stuff, he loves the fans because they're all buying his stuff. He's got coffins and condoms. He's got to be nice to them.
Yeah. One of the guys from Boston, because he heard us talking about STP at the River Rave, he writes, when they were kicking everyone out of the backstage area at the River Rave, one of the DeLeo brothers was actually holding the door for us to leave. He looked ashamed for a minute. This isn't me.
I'm a douche.
I know they're saying SDP would like this area cleared, but trust me, it's not me. So I'll hold the door and kind of give you a look of, sorry.
Yeah, we were backstage for them a while ago in Boston.
Yeah.
I guess they gave that up.
Speaking of music, our favorite douche is, Sting.
I was going to say, that could be so many people.
In the music world, not really. Who's on our douche list?
Musical douches?
Sting. And I was a big Police fan growing up.
Yeah.
But he just continues to disappoint with his nonsense. Remember his loot years?
Him and his stupid loot.
Who else is on the douche list? You know what? I love him, but Neil Young.
Neil Young
The
was a
time
douche?
I saw Neil Young and he decided not to really play any hits.
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee is on the douche list.
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons is on the douche
Ted
list.
Nugent.
Uncle Ted?
Well, he's a douche. I'm just reading off of
You're going to put him on the douche list, though?
Pulling up.
And I know we're pissing off a lot of people, but all these people we're mentioning, we like their music. But they did something to us in the past that put them on the douche list.
Ted is in a different douche category. Ted isn't in the he did something that makes us hate him category. He's just a douche.
Yeah, he was born a
He's
douche.
like douchey.
He's
douchey. And I agree with a lot of his, policies and everything like that. But the way he presents him is just douchey.
Who else is on the list?
They're saying John Mayer. But he's not douchey to our show or us, even though he hasn't come on since he got all, Hollywood.
Yeah, he's all right. He was all right by us. Scott Weiland. I'm a huge STP fan, but he's on the douche list.
He's a douche.
Jimmy?
Steve Carlisi.
Steve Carlisi, yes.
Stephen Carr.
Stephen Carr,
yeah.
You don't like Scott Weiland
He's
anymore?
the biggest douche of them all.
Wow.
No, he's to me, he's a typical coddled rock star. Like, he thinks he's this bundle of talent whose horseshit should be tolerated. He should have just been fired years ago.
Axl Rose.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to promote.
We never talked to Axl Rose.
I know.
Though.
He's just a douche.
These are people that were just douchey to us personally.
Yeah.
Scott Weiland, when they made us clear the stage so he could walk on stage.
Yeah.
We're not talking.
You got to back up.
We're not talking the part of the stage where the audience sees. When you host some of these bands, which we were doing, we were hosting STP up there in Boston. So you get a little side stage action where you get a nice little seat. You get to check some shit out, but you're completely out of the way of everybody to begin with. And all of a sudden they're like, "No, man, Scott Weiland wants the stage completely clear before he goes on stage." So Jimmy and I were out of our fucking minds. We're like, we can't even stand behind this little thing to watch him walk on stage. Are you kidding?
Stop it.
Remember Jimmy?
That was after he blew the show off for an interview because he was late. Remember, he was supposed to be interviewed that day, and he didn't come.
And that also came after the I forgot how long it was at the PNC when in between bands it was an hour to an hour and a half because he wasn't ready to go on stage yet.
But I think Axl's a big prick too. Just because of the way he makes fans wait. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. Fuck him.
People are saying Charlie from Drive Shaft is a douche. Charlie.
I have no idea.
It's Lost.
Oh, see? Lost. By the way, Lost.
You are everybody. Oh, shut up with your stupid song.
All right. We didn't even explain why Sting is a douche this time around. That's how he started.
Is it new douchiness from Sting, or is it old douchiness?
Well, Sting, after many, many years, finally said, okay, what the hell, I'll do a police reunion, remember?
Uh-huh.
He didn't want to do that for many, many years.
No.
And they do it, and it was massively successful. It was one of the biggest tours a couple of years ago, I guess, at this point. So you would think, okay, why don't you do that again? That would be nice. A lot of people probably still haven't seen the Police back together, and I went, and they sounded great, right?
Yeah.
No, Sting has decided, fuck all that, I'm done with that already. And he's doing a symphony tour. Where he's going to play Police and solo songs reworked by an orchestra this time.
Oh, and what does he do? Is he going to sing with the orchestra, or is he going to conduct?
Of course he'll sing. Do we have any Sting doing the lute? The Police song lute, though? Is this the...
It's lute.
Oh, this one.
Toodly-doo.
This stinks.
You know how embarrassing this is, being a Police fan?
I just hated the story around every song.
Didn't you go with me?
I did. If I had an ounce of moral courage, I would have made a noise.
You know, remember Lee Abrams and Eric Logan were looking at you and I going, please don't do what you're thinking?
Yes.
Because me and Jimmy, you were invited to, but Ant's not a Sting or Police fan. We were invited to it was a performance.
At Lincoln Center.
But it was one of those talk things, too.
Yeah.
Artist Confidential? Right, all right, Artist Confidential, and it's Sting with his lute player, and they talked for like for fucking ever, and then they finally start playing songs, and there's only about 50 of us in this performance area.
Yeah.
With Sting, you're like, fuck, this is cool. And then we had to listen to this horse shit.
We got to meet him beforehand. Like, that's when the company took care of us, when they liked us. Elo introduced us.
Yeah, but I had a problem because, God forbid, I asked for another picture with Sting because the flash didn't go off. He got so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And all he had to do
is a douche.
All he had to do is take maybe 20 pictures.
He's a douche.
I have to agree with you. But now
You don't like this song?
Oh, it's ponderous.
Do you think it's
like
nice?
Tranquilizers. This is horrid. All the night.
My sleeps are full of dreams.
This is the same guy that did Spirits in the Material World, and
I'm actually kind of liking this.
Shut
up.
No, this is the only song of the lute stuff that I liked.
No, this is the one we make fun of the most, though.
Well, it was...
I'm gonna crack that lute over his head like El Capong.
Mike Blackwell from Houston. I gave my love a cherry.
Yep. That had no store. I get.
Well, could you play the interpretation of the Police song he did with the lute? Do you have that in the system, Travis? Because
I
that's
like
what
that,
really
too.
annoyed us.
Do you know what that?
Yeah, the other one I have is Message in a Bottle.
Yeah,
That's
listen to
what we
this.
had.
Listen to this with the lute. You like this end?
No. The lute. There's a reason only 4 people in the world play it.
Gerard Depardieu was his lutist.
Lohutist.
He looked like him, remember?
Yeah.
There's a reason why this instrument is pretty much extinct at this point, right?
Yeah, there is a reason. People came up with something called the guitar.
The guitar.
Yes.
And they figured out how to properly. This was the bone he threw the audience.
Yeah,
Like, all right, I'll give you one.
Like, here you go, fuckers.
I think he gave us this one and maybe one other.
Yeah. Here you go.
So disappointed. We were supposed to interview STP, or we thought we had a good chance of interviewing those guys. And we learned that they are going to be too tired to do our radio show today. They're going to do Howard, they're going to do the King's show. And then after that, I think they're doing Alt Nation. And they're going to be too tired to do our show. And I'll tell you right now, we have a hell of a lot more people listening to us than Alt Nation.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Doing Stern is one thing, because that's like, if they know, if that's a relationship they have, they did that and we're leaving, all right, whatever. That's that they wanted to, they're willing to get up for that guy they like, Howard, fuck it. But when they're going to do Alt Nation, which has a lot less people than this channel, it's like, fuck, then they're going to be staying, so fuck them.
Right. And it hurts me because I am a big STP fan. I know a lot of their songs. I've seen STP easily 10 times. Easily. And we've supported them over the years. The DeLeo brothers came in with a shitty side project, and we supported that. Does anyone remember Army of Anyone?
I like them.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, the single's actually really not bad at all.
You and what, 100 people, though? The band never took off.
I know, but you know what?
Hence why they all had to get back together and do the STP thing again.
I did give it a shot, because it sounded really good. I mean, DeLeo Brothers plus the dude from Filter. I can't remember his name.
I forgot his name, too. I love that guy.
And the
lead singer of Filter is, you know what? I probably shouldn't have said that, because he's a really cool dude. But he will surface again, because he's too talented to keep down. What's his name, though?
Patrick. Yeah, there you go. Richard Patrick.
Richard Patrick.
I think they got back together. Travis, do you know anything about that?
Filter?
Did Filter get back together?
Yeah, I think they opened for STP at that.
That's right.
The PNC show about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, Patrick.
They sounded great.
Patrick is a great vocalist, man.
And the guy from
but the Army of Anyone, it didn't go where they wanted to go, and we supported that project for him.
Who's the guy from Rage? Who was in that? Wasn't that guy from Rage Against the Machine in there, or no?
Did they have a Rage guy in there, too? I know they had the DeLeo brothers, they had Patrick.
Are you thinking of Tom Morello?
Yeah, what was he in?
He was in Audio Slave.
Oh, Audio Slave.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Audio Slave I liked a lot, too. So they've passed on us. And this is the same, and it's like their album needs all the help it could get.
Absolutely.
It's not doing that well. And somebody on Twitter was telling me that they've already released 3 singles from the new CD, and it's going nowhere. So it needs all the promotion it could get.
So instead of doing this at Alt Nation, they're doing 90 minutes on Alt Nation. Good.
This isn't, 97, 98, 1998, where you don't really have to promote because they're fucking huge. At this point, they need all the promotion they could get. So fuck them.
This is the band in Boston.
I'm tired of this bullshit.
This is the band in Boston that blew us off. Scott Weiland was supposed to do an interview, and we were fucking on the air, and he's just like, he's a cunt. He didn't want to come in. He's a twat. I bashed him in my book, and fuck him.
We went all the way up to Boston just to interview the band, if you remember. And we're sitting there on leather couches at the last minute, like, they're not going to come out. They're not, they're whatever. They're whatever. Because whatever excuse they use, I know is a bullshit excuse. And then the debauchery at the PNC show, where, there was an hour. How long was it? Hour and a half, 2 hours in between the bands? And me and Kenny watched one of the DeLeo brothers yelling and screaming at the bus, screaming at Weiland, going, "Come on, Axel, come on." Calling him Axel and stuff.
Wow.
And then there was yelling and screaming, and the word cunt was used a couple times, and then and then he wandered on stage finally and put on a mediocre show at best because there was something going on with him that day.
I hate temperamental musicians. Hate. I really do.
There's not many of them anymore, though. There really isn't a lot of them
Did
left.
Mick Jagger pull that shit?
I don't know.
Of course not.
He just got people like killed in the front of the stage.
That was their fault. That's what you get. That's a white man's concert.
Fucking Jagger rules. He fucking rules.
But I mean, guys like that who really are professional. It's like, I hate the fucking baby rock star. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It drives the baby performer. I fucking hate it. It's like They just need to be coddled, and everybody's around them. It's like, oh, no, you're right. No one has the balls to tell them, look, you're just being a dick.
And then you and I in Boston on that stage, and we weren't allowed to, like, be, on the stage, even though we were tucked away in a corner, and Scott Weiland and the rest of them wouldn't even have noticed if we were on the stage. They're like, I know, they requested that the stage is completely clear before they walk off their buses. And that drove you nuts.
Yeah, it did, because the show was being, like, the station was presenting the show. Mm-hmm. We had gone up there with BCN and we should interview them. They blew us off.
We should talk about that for a second, though, because I've done radio a long time, and when you guys, meaning you out there, you hear a local rock station talking about, well, we're presenting, STP. It's really not a give and take. It's like the radio station kisses the band's ass, sells out the venue for them. Maybe they'll give you the bass player to do a 10-minute interview with their afternoon jock, and that's it. That's the interaction you get, even though it sounds like, you're doing this together with the band.
Right, and
that's exactly what happened in Boston. That's why I interrupted you.
There was no band came in, no Weiland came in, but then just to be such twats about it, which was no one backstage in the area. You can't watch them get off the bus or walk on stage. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been backstage before. They were being twats. It wasn't rational. It was just like they wanted the whole backstage area cleared.
Right.
It put a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know the music. I know that they're supposedly great. Fuck them. I don't care. I would if they broke up and never got back together, I wouldn't even know it unless you tap me and go, oh yeah, they broke up again. Who fucking cares?
Right.
Well, how interesting is Scott Weiland going to be? Yeah, man, it's the music. We got back for the music. Did you?
If he even comes in. Yeah. I think he's tormented. We even had his fucking ex-wife in here promoting her shitty book. Remember, she handed out chocolates to everybody?
Vaguely, yeah.
A nice enough woman.
Yeah, she was
I don't
nice.
want to trash her, but we even supported that. And even though they're not married anymore, they're still, together. They got a kid together and all that, so they're doing the right thing. So we did the right thing by having her in as well. Holy shit. Kevin in White Plains. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Now, I was at that show that you were talking about, the PNC Center show 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was one of my friends I was there when they were an hour and a half late to the stage, and Scott wouldn't come out, and he saw, ambulances pull up to where they were, supposedly backstage, and everyone was talking that he had OD'd back there and was dead, and there was going to be no show. So he rushes out to the parking lot trying to get into his car because he's trying to beat it out there. Missed the entire concert. They came out 5 minutes after he walked out. They wouldn't let him back in. He was just screwed.
Well, I saw something completely different because I'm sitting in my seats and I don't know, it was at least a half hour, 45 minutes between the two bands, at least. Probably closer to an hour at that point. And I said to the people I was sitting with, I got to go backstage because I had a backstage pass. I'm going to try to check out what's going on. And I brought Kenny with me, and me and Kenny watched a whole scene outside Scott Weiland's bus. And it wasn't ambulances. It was one of the DeLeo brothers, because I don't know who's who. And he's yelling and screaming and pacing up and down outside the bus. Some woman came out, and she's giving the DeLeo brother some shit. And then the word cunt was used. And then he's screaming, oh, here's Kenny. And then he's screaming, come on out, Axel, come on out.
Didn't he have a bodyguard in front of the bus that wouldn't let him on?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part. Thanks, Jimmy. So, yeah, the DeLeo brother, a big part of STP.
The bass player.
The bass player, was it? Okay. He wasn't allowed on Scott Weiland's bus because Scott Weiland had his personal bouncer or bodyguard guarding the entrance to the bus. So as a band, they're not really even together, it seems to me. It seems like they're separate parts that come together on stage, do their thing, and then they split and go their own way. And Howard should ask him about that, because that's a big thing that a lot of people know about. What else did you see that night, Kenny?
I guess it was his girlfriend that he was yelling at and called her a cunt, and they were screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And DeLeo was screaming to the bus, come on, Axel, you're not embarrassing me in my hometown.
Oh, I forgot about that, because, the DeLeo guys are from Jersey, so they're playing at the PNC, so this is a hometown gig for them. So he's like, that's right. He goes, you're not going to embarrass me in front of my hometown crowd and my family, my friends. Come on, Axel. Come on, Axel.
Right. Yeah, it was a whole big scene back there.
Me and Kenny were loving it.
Yeah, and then he finally comes out.
Yeah, 10 minutes later, he came stumbling out in some outfit.
Some outfit.
Yeah.
some some I'm from the '70s rock star outfit.
Like a velvet jacket and some fedora and like leather pants. Like
that's how a rock star should dress.
Yeah. So, thanks, Kevin. That's what we saw. We were right on the scene there. All right. Thank you. So it's just annoying that people are blowing off our show for the dumbest reasons.
Yeah, I
mean, we have a real problem with the booking of this radio show, but I'll try not to bitch. But we have serious issues as far as this radio show goes. Not with us in studio here. The bookings suck for this radio show. Suck. We got George Wendt coming in today, and I'm not trashing George Wendt, but what year is this? What is he coming in to promote? And I'm sure he's nice enough guy. I've talked to him a few times over the years, but it's like, where's the people from this century? When are they going to start doing our show?
Well, he's promoting a book. It's supposed to be very good. So if they ask Anthony and I, we're like, yeah, we'll talk to George Wendt.
I don't mind that we're talking to George Wendt. I'm actually excited. But what are we going to ask him about Cheers?
Was he on Cheers?
George?
Yeah.
What, he's not?
I think he was. I never watched Cheers.
You never watched Cheers either?
I've seen moments of it, but no, I didn't.
Of course George Wendt was on Cheers.
Teasing. That's just my good acting. I know who he was. Fucking Mars is mumbling Norm in the back. I know, Mars. I'm kidding.
I got to be honest. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I was joking.
Okay, that was some good acting.
Yeah, you know how it is.
So we're going to talk to Norm. What are we going to do when he walks in and go, Norm?
Hey. He'll probably sit down and go, well, it was a great experience. But,
Drinking with George, the name of his book.
It's, I know what you're saying is that
I'm not trashing George Wendt.
It would be nice to have them as well. I know what you're saying.
Well, yeah, it would be a nice combo. I mean, he's got STP has a new album out. All right, so that's kind of a newer guest that's still doing it. And George Wendt has nothing else going on, so he's writing a book.
Tomorrow we have Slash, who's not a twat. Slash has been great. He's
Slash rules.
Slash is one of the coolest musicians I think I've ever met in my entire life.
Remember he hung out and just played Guitar Hero with us?
Yeah,
for hours?
He was totally cool.
I have nothing to do. I'll play some fucking Guitar Hero right now.
I had no problem, making small talk and making sure that, you had your Slash time or whatever you want to call it. Like a lot of these guys, they just don't give a fuck. They would just be like, hey, what's up? And just leave you alone. And he was totally cool.
Yeah, I've been talking to Slash for, I don't even know at this point, 15 years easily.
And that guy's been on top of the world for 24 years already, whenever Appetite came out. I mean, you think the guy would get jaded or just not care anymore?
Right. No, he's always been cool.
He's right there.
Always been fucking cool. I've never had a bad experience with Slash ever.
Well,
he's always given us his time.
He empathizes probably with people who have to deal with those fucking babies because he dealt with a way bigger fucking Axl. Look, that guy's great, but it's like, ugh.
Oh, fuck Axl.
Well, he dealt with Axl and then he dealt with Scott in.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right. Maybe we'll talk about Scott Weiland with Slash tomorrow. We'll get some nice stories out of him.
That's
right. Slash is too nice of a guy. He's not going to go down that road, probably.
Imagine those guys back to back.
What a nightmare.
One fucking guy who cares only about himself, then another one.
And I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan. Huge. I remember getting that first album way before radio was playing it, going, holy shit, is this going to set the world on fire? Because when you work in radio, you get to see some of these bands before it goes mass appeal.
What do you think of Chinese Democracy?
Huh?
Chinese Democracy.
I haven't even checked it out. Being a huge Guns N' Roses fan from back in the day, you think I would at least check it out to see? I don't care. He waited way too fucking long to put that piece of shit out.
But then he blew off like most U.S. promotion, I think.
Oh, good for him.
Like his little tantrum.
Yeah.
Throwing a little tantrum. Good, go to Europe and promote it. Good.
Is that what he did?
I think so, yeah. I think I could be just talking out of my ass. Maybe somebody knows. But I heard he blew off all U.S. promotion. It's like...
And he barely promoted that album.
Yeah, exactly.
He did a long Billboard interview, and then I think he did one more interview, and that was it.
What do you consider a long Billboard interview?
It was probably... It took me about a half hour to read, and I'm a pretty fast reader. I can't remember how long it was, but it was a very lengthy interview, and that was about all he did.
Well, it's a lovely picture of Slash and Ozzy having tea. Ozzy looks much more refined than Slash, though. Ozzy at least has striped socks in this photo and some gentleman's shoes. Slash is on sneakers and his fucking hat. Slash looks more like a rock star in that photo.
Slash is all right in my book, and his book was great. What was the name of that? I read that thing in 2 days.
It was just Slash.
It was just called Slash.
Great book.
It was a great rock book. Did you read Slash's book?
No, I haven't.
It's well worth it, man. Well worth it. Yeah, it's just called Slash. That's okay. I would suggest you check that out.
It's amazing how many of these guys come out with books, though, right? Like fucking now, Ozzy finally had one. Slash had one.
How was Ozzy's book?
Honestly, I know I'm a jaded fan. I fucking loved it. I read it in 3 days. That was one of the books I could not stop reading.
You just wanted to see if he mentioned you.
I didn't. No, I just looked at the back through the bibliography
hoping?
at the end.
Were you secretly hoping?
No, unless it was there's got to be another Jim Norton, because they did do a song many years ago called "A Song for Jim."
Oh,
nothing
yeah?
to do with me, of course. It was 1968. It's funny how I had to say nothing to do with me, of course, like somebody might.
I wasn't even going to ask that. It didn't even cross my mind.
But honestly, it's the best rock biography I've ever read. It's completely honest. He talks a lot about drugs, about abusing his ex-wife. I mean, really fucking great, man.
My favorite was, Hammer of the Gods.
Motley Crue was good, too.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think I would have to go Motley Crue, and Slash was right up there, right next to Motley Crue.
I should read his. Kiss and Make-Up was good, a Gene's book, but it was more just a cool history of the band for a Kiss fan. Like, I like the ones that are like reveal like the really fucking ugly, which
Ace Frehley's writing his memoirs.
Who wouldn't love to? I just want to read it as he's writing it.
It came out over the weekend.
It's already out.
No.
No, he means it came out. The news came out, not the book.
Right.
And Steven Tyler's is coming out at the end of the year, I think, which I'm really interested in reading because they were all sorts of messed up back then.
I think he might have. He was living in the building actually for a little while, and then just wasn't around anymore.
Just disappeared.
Apparently, had to go somewhere.
Oh, really?
Is
that the rumor?
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw him in the neighborhood. I heard he was living in.
Everyone said he was a nice guy too. They said he was very friendly.
Right. Oh, he's the greatest. When we did time in Boston, he came by a few times. He was the greatest. That whole band was awesome. They were always really, really nice, down-to-earth guys. And remembered us, which was crazy. Because then we would see him at a show, like, hey, Opie and Anthony, doing his Zuzi Bops.
His what?
His whatever, what he does.
What's he do?
He does a lot. He does some Zooty Bops.
What are those? What is Zooty Bops? What are they?
I don't know. I made it up on the spot.
Oh, you are. That's more acceptable than actually that he did it.
Nah, he does. He does some cat calls or whatever you want to fucking call them. Let's go to Tony in Brooklyn. Tony.
Hey, Opie. I had a kid 10 months ago, and that was the best week of my life, the week between, after he was born. So, congratulations, buddy.
Hey, man, thank you. It's a life changer.
It's unbelievable.
I like it, though.
Yeah, it's nothing like it. Hey, I think everybody's got a story, and I would be more interested in George Wendt than I would be in douchebags from STP, because you know what? You're only really interested in the train wreck, and it's always the same story. So, hey, maybe George has got something interesting to talk about other than just his Norm days. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll try to get into it with George today.
The thing that's
Mr. Wendt.
Interesting to me about Stone Temple Pilots is that they're obviously a huge band. I mean, but as far as if I had to be very honest and say, okay, guys that I love they mean absolutely nothing to me. And again, not because I think they suck. I'm not aware of any of their songs.
Well, most of them will let you down. You realize they're just jerks.
Some. I've had some luck though, man. Most of them have been the guys I love.
Yeah, have all been cool to you.
Me and Gene had a weird one, but aside from that, now it's nice. Mm-hmm. I know Ant doesn't care for him.
I don't like him either. He's whatever. He's whatever. I actually like doing radio with him though.
Yes,
because I like doing radio with people I don't like too, because it's kind of fun.
And he definitely.
The time he reached over and grabbed Danny's hand because Danny was typing too loud while he was talking. God forbid that Danny does his job while Gene's in studio. He couldn't handle the loud typing and actually grabbed his hand.
Do you remember in NEW, the first time I met him, I was so starstruck I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to him, my chair was creaking, which would just happen in a radio studio, and he kind of was like, your chair is creaking. And I was like, rough.
It's probably his OCD.
I wonder if it is too.
Because it's just too weird that he can't handle that. But, all right. Why don't we say hi to David in Pennsylvania. David.
Yeah.
Good morning, David.
Good morning. I was at that STP show, and it was seconds away from a riot.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was midnight when they went on.
Yeah.
Midnight.
And
you guys were like, at about 10 o'clock, you were like, hey, here's STP. And we're like, all right, yeah. And,
oh, you know what? I forgot that we did the stage announcement.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Did you? You forgot you announced them?
Yeah, I don't know. I've done hundreds of those, but yeah, me and Ant went out on stage, and they said, okay, you don't even have to say coming up. Just say, here's STP, and they're going to take about 5 minutes just to let the crowd build with excitement or whatever. So that's what we did. We did just that or something similar to that, and I believe it was close to 2 hours later. Yeah,
almost 2 hours, and we were at the exit, afraid for our lives.
Yeah. And then he finally came out. I bet you he was oblivious that he was making everyone wait 2 hours. I guess because it's worth it for everybody out there, fucking on the lawn, and it was worth it to them to wait 2 hours for his greatness. It's just
to top it off, they stunk. I was so upset. It was the first time I ever seen them.
I've seen them, like I said, at least 10 times, and that was easily the worst they ever sounded. Not even close. No doubt in my mind.
What's their biggest song? I know it. I just can't pick a name.
Fuck, you just put the whole Plush is up there.
Yeah, it's got to be Plush, Interstate Love Song, Sour Girl.
Sour Girl was a little
Sure, I've heard them.
Vaseline. I mean, you put up there
Wicked Garden.
Wicked Garden. There you go. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Sex Type Thing. That was like their one of their first singles.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
they have a million songs,
Yeah, no, I'm very ignorant of any type of are they grunge or alternative?
They started out in that whole grunge alt.
Like I can name maybe 2 Pearl Jam songs. I can't that whole genre of music. I can't really name any music from.
You don't like it?
I don't know that I don't like it. I just no, not really. But
yeah. All right, hey, thank you, Charlie. Thanks for the congrats. I heard that.
So whatever, it's just annoying that a band is going to be here. We know our audience is larger, and it's not to knock Alt Nation, but the audience of this show is a lot bigger, and it just makes what dummies publicists are.
You hear what happened with STP yesterday?
No.
They only gave Howard like 20 minutes. I mean, they blew us off, which, we're done with these fucking guys. And I got a tweet in the middle of the night from some guy all bummed out. He's like, I hate that you guys are trashing the DeLeo brothers because they're really, really cool dudes. I agree. Those guys are great, but their lead singer is fucking it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Their lead singer is a fucking asshole.
He's a weenie.
And he barely gave Howard 20 minutes yesterday. And then he was supposed to do other stuff, and he just walked out.
Really?
Yeah, someone down the hall knows the whole story. He walked out. So then the DeLeo brothers, once again, are doing the right thing and, working hard as Mr. Weiland just walked out of the building in the middle of something.
Wow.
I hate him.
He's
I really hate him.
a fucking douchebag.
I really hate him.
He really is a douche.
And I'm not a fan. It's like, I know the guy's a great singer, but it's like...
So I acknowledge what this guy tweeted me overnight. You're right. The DeLeo brothers don't deserve this shit. But,
He's a prick.
Huh?
He's a fucking prick.
Yeah, here's E-Rock.
In his dopey fucking velvet.
E-Rock, what?
That's funny. He's a prick. Here's E-Rock. Young Captain.
We love the behind-the-scenes shit here at SiriusXM. So what happened? They did 20 minutes on Howard?
Your hands are closed.
Yeah, so they leave Howard. They go to another studio to record.
Were they supposed to do more time on Stern, right? Weren't they supposed to do that earlier?
Yeah.
I would assume that.
Late.
I would assume he would want him for a good hour, get into some shit. But I think Mr. Weiland gave him just basic stuff.
And then they were supposed to go to another studio to record a special for Alt Nation. Scott apparently went in, grabbed the sheet, blew through every liner that they wrote out, put it down, and walked out and left with a manager. Left the DeLeo brothers there to do the rest of the special by
themselves. What was the rest of the special? Like what else was
Probably
there?
a special on there.
I don't know. I don't know what the content was, but he just blew through one page, left, and then the other guys were still there with the rest of their management for a while, recording other stuff. So in and out.
What a jerk off.
Yeah, and then you got someone like Slash who's just fucking cool and had way more success than Mr. Weiland. No attitude with Slash.
None.
Let's say hi to Rocco in Jersey. Rocco.
Dude. Hey, what's up? Yo, I caught STP on Howard Stern, and they were fucking awful. I don't think they were as bad as George went, but they were fucking all strung out, and they couldn't answer questions, and Howard was just fucking... He had to try so hard to make the interview any good at all.
He was probably
you guys were better with tattoo talk.
Yeah, we did better with Tattoo Talk yesterday. Well, you know, I mean, I guess what were we going to do with STP in the end? But
Scott Weiland just seems he's everything I fucking hate in a performer. I mean, it makes me. I mean, again, the guy's very talented. And I'm not saying rock stars can't be loons sometimes. Like Tommy Lee's a lunatic.
But
he's not a dick.
If you're interesting, crazy, that's fine. It actually works for you.
Right.
But if you're fucking prick douchebag,
well, he doesn't want to be in the radio station. He doesn't want to be here.
You'll be good
That's
with
the
Slash,
problem.
guys. Good luck.
Slash will be really good today. Absolutely. We wanted to ask you about Scott Weiland because he was in here yesterday, not in our studio. But
perish the thought.
You guys really found out on stage that he was done with Velvet Revolver?
You know,
because his wife said that she came in to promote her book.
Yeah, this is
his ex-wife.
The reality of what happened with that is we had
because you guys had a good thing going.
Scott's a good guy, and I don't want to. I'm definitely not on the same kind of bitter whatever thing that was been going on with Axl and I. But at the time, Velvet Revolver definitely had a lot of ups and downs. A lot of them were chemical related, and that involved everybody in the band. We all went through our own thing. But with Scott, that last record during the tour, we just sort of lost him. You know, he was just out there, and so we ended up canceling Australia and Japan. And so that was it. That was the final straw. So we had a UK tour left over, and we actually auditioned people to do the tour instead of Scott. And Scott was in rehab. And then we thought, who are we kidding? We got 2 weeks till these dates come up, and if we show up in London with somebody other than Scott, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So we never talked to Scott about this. So he got out of rehab. We went to the UK. We never told him a word. He was done then. So he had nothing to do with it. But there was this one show that we did where he was tripping out because he thought that the drum tech was singing along with him through his little headphone mic.
I don't mean to laugh, man.
And he was seriously convinced and pulled. There was like an Axl moment where he walked off the stage and took off into the dressing rooms while we were still playing, based on this illusion, right? So when he did finally, we went and got him and brought him back on stage, and he said, "This is the last Velvet Revolver show," and we're all going, "With you?" It was one of those kind of things. So we never said word one to him for that whole UK tour. So whatever he told you, he had no idea what was going on. And when we got to Amsterdam, after that was our last show, we went after the show was over, we put out a press release saying we were no longer working with him.
How much do you want to smack a singer, whoever it is, or when one member of the band is just fucking making it all about themselves and being a drama queen, and you're like, ugh, there's four of us.
I mean, but you know, all things considered, Scott's a pretty, you know, he has that side of him, which was really difficult, but then the other side of him, he's really, really a cool guy. And now that I'm not in a band with him, I love him to death. But in a band with him, you know, and it's not, you know, like, I mean, he's had his issues with STP as well, where, you know, Rob and Dean are like, geez, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that Scott is in a band situation. He doesn't necessarily play well with others, you know, as far as the group kind of mentality.
See, this is why Slash is going to live to be 90, because you don't stress. He's just like, there's nothing that bothers this guy.
You just go with the flow.
Yeah, man. That's a better way to live.
Yeah, no kidding. I can learn from you, Slash.
Yeah, that's all it put on. I'm stressed out all the time.
Boiling inside.
Last time you were in, speaking of Velvet Revolver, you were hinting that you guys were close to a new singer now. We haven't talked in a while, so is that something that is done now? Or
no, we're still looking.
Yeah.
There's been a couple guys that have come along that have been really good, but I'm not making any hasty decisions. I haven't, you know, like, if we're going to do the next Velvet record, I want to make like the quintessential Velvet record. So I don't want to go picking anybody just because we're anxious.
Right.
You know, and I've been so busy, and Duff's busy, and Matt's busy, so there's no reason to make any rash decisions.
Yeah.
But at some point, next year, I would imagine we're going to get together and really go through all the submissions that we've gotten over the last 6 months, and also see whatever new people have come along and see if we can find that thing that just clicks.
You got a short list, though?
Of people to try out? No, it's a long list now.
Long list still?
Last 6 months, we haven't done anything, so it's been piling up.
Hey, by the way, our favorite rock star fell off a stage last night.
Which one? No.
Scott fucking douchebag.
Weiland?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, I guess he was so high he couldn't perform that. I'm so high. I just went with trailer. I'll be out in a minute, man. Oh, I'm fucked up, man. I'm crazy rock guy. You asshole.
I'm struggling with demons.
Yeah, man. They've got me. I'm not creative without them, man.
I'm a tortured artist.
Yeah, but my talent overrides my faults.
Don't give a shit that everyone around me's frustrated.
It's the pain that makes him good.
And it pains me because I love STP's music. I really do. But this fucking guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
I hope he broke his fucking hip, cocksucker. How many hours did he make the audience wait, and then he finally walked out there and fell?
Yeah.
Is that,
Jimmy, I love that
footage?
take. Love it. Horrible footage from someone's cell phone. It's on TMZ, by the way.
Oh, that's a
good boy.
He got like whiplash when he fell.
Did the show have to stop?
I don't know. Maybe some.
Will people realize you can't get the sound from a fucking cell phone when you hold it up? It just cannot handle
it's
that
brutal.
fucking sound.
It's brutal. But he fell off the stage last night, so I hope he's not doing well.
Good for him.
Fuck him. Fuck that asshole.
He was just strutting on the stage and ran out of stage and just like got whiplash and fell down.
Nothing worse though when you realize there's no ground.
Yeah, it's like when you miss that step.
Oh, that is the weirdest fucking feeling.
When you think you're at the bottom of the stairs and there's one more step, or when you're at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah. All of a sudden you break your teeth for some reason.
There's no step and you go down like there is a step.
Yeah.
Oh.
You think he's tortured, Jimmy?
Yeah, man. This guy really.
What do you think was going on in his head, you think?
I don't know, man. But just the pain, the music's just coming out. He doesn't even see the stage ending.
You think he spends most of his day going, people just don't understand.
They don't understand what I go through my process. To be creative is so much pressure. Fucking faggot rock star.
It's not the 70s, asshole.
Exactly.
Not Jim Morrison.
Oh, he is a fucking douche.
We saw it. We saw it up close and personal. We were lucky to see 2 incidents.
I fucking hate the coddled rock star. Despise.
Well, he's so pained, and that's what makes him talented. It's a double-edged sword.
The best
Jimmy.
was we need to clear the entire stage before Scott gets off the bus.
Yeah.
Really?
All right, can we get everybody off the stage?
Really?
Scott's going to be coming through. He doesn't want anyone looking at him.
Like I said, it pains me because I'm a big fan of their fucking music. But
I know, the way you
what an
announced
asshole.
him on the air.
Yeah, fuck him. All right, this guy's a photographer. Scott in Detroit. You really were at the show, Scott?
Yes, I really was. I actually have a gallery on my website if you so choose to look at the shot.
Oh my God, what's this? Home invasion?
What happened?
Actually,
I gotta kill the show for a second.
Every time you talk, that happens.
There's going to be a fire alarm, and it's an audible fire alarm, and the one thing behind you there is going to sound off.
When?
Cool.
In a few minutes.
How?
Well, then we're not killing the show.
Can we bet?
But you're going to hear it.
What time?
Can we make bets on when it's going to go off?
Okay.
When is it going off?
He's there in a few minutes.
All right, so we got a few minutes.
Can he give us a
Why are you
how about
panicking?
a 30-second notice? Instead of some vague.
Why are you panicking?
Why are you panicking?
Mars is panicking.
Mars just came in here and tried to stop the show for something that's happening in a little while.
Hey, listen, at 11:30 when Ron and Fez are on.
Right.
Hey!
What the fuck's wrong with him? Go ahead, photographer.
What if there's a real fire during the fire alarm test?
I'll sue everybody.
That'd be ironic.
Scott, go ahead.
Okay, anyways, yeah, it was at Cincinnati, and, he was late as usual, fashionably late. This is like my 5th time.
How late was he this time? You know, half his fans have fucking curfews, you asshole.
How late was he?
We lost this guy, and this is the guy we needed, too.
The phones are playing opposite phones.
Yeah. There he is, dude, the tortured fucking rock star. That bothers you, huh?
What a fruit.
Hate it because the rock guys I like that were fuck-ups. There's just an attitude, guys. Like, yeah, just the rebel, and there's nothing fun or friendly about him. Just like a cunt. Just like a cunt.
He is really just a prick.
Yeah.
Look at him. Yuck. Flipping the bird, his very serious face.
God, I wish that guy
One of those
would call
guys who
back.
thinks he's a genius.
I want to know how late he was this time. That's what turned me off to Guns N' Roses. I sat in, I think it was, I have to go way back, but I think it was Toronto. It was easily 2 hours between, I got to get my bands right. Who the fuck was the other band?
Sister Sledge?
I think it was Skid Row. But I think it was about a 2 hour wait as we all waited for Axl.
What a piece of shit.
And the show was so good. I forgot who else was there. This goes back almost 20 years, but the show was rocking. It was Toronto. It was outside. It was a nice summer night, and it was flowing nice. And then, all right, Guns N' Roses is next. And it was literally 2 hours later. 2 miserable hours. By the time they hit the stage, it was still great because it was Guns N' Roses in their prime, but, you know, it just took the energy out of the entire fucking place. Of
course.
Hope that guy calls back. Oh, he's calling back. All right. Scott, okay, go ahead. So, how late was he?
Well, you know, he's only about 15 minutes late, but I've shot him before where he's been at 45 minutes to an hour late.
15 is obviously reasonable. Half hour is reasonable between the opener and the
Because you don't always know what the
headliner.
problem is, yeah.
That's fine. But when it gets up to that hour range, that's when it starts getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually seen Guns N' Roses before where they've been well over an hour late as well. So,
right.
But anyways, but so back to the show. But you know, because I've photographed him before, and he's come out and he's just totally butchered the first song, forgetting lyrics, coming in too early. But this show, I can honestly say, he appeared to be sober as sober gets.
Okay.
I think what happened was, you know, they're supposed to put tape lines along the edge of the stage, and I believe the roadies forgot to do it because after he fell, and he was down there. He fell between the stage and the actual subwoofers between the stage. You know, there's like maybe a foot and a half of empty space, and he just dropped like a wet rag. But I tell you what, he did not miss a beat. My first thought was he was lip syncing, but he wasn't. Because next thing you know, after about 30 seconds, his head popped up, and he was still singing. Man, it was. He's a total rock star. Absolutely. I mean, it was a great show. It was a really good show.
Maybe he's got some of his shit figured out because, you know, our experience goes back a couple years at this point.
Yeah, but if you guys want to see pictures, if I can maybe plug my website, I got a gallery up there of shots.
You know what? After this great phone call, that's fine. What's your website?
It's Rockstar.
Hey, Craig, Nassau County. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. How are you? First-time caller.
Jimmy's favorite band, STP. STP.
STP.
A lot of people also going to see STP.
STP.
I'll never live that one down. And they're saying Scott Weiland's not looking good.
What do you mean?
Do we have any recent video or audio of Scott Weiland? We haven't talked about him in a while. He's a wreck. Or maybe he's got his shit together finally. What do you think? They're still doing it.
Oh, man, he looks like that. That picture right there that you just had, he looks like the guy from fucking Poltergeist 2.
Yeah.
You're all gonna die. Holy
God
shit.
is in his holy temple.
That guy was creepy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Atlanta's very pissed at us, Anthony.
What happened?
Stevens John, while you and the callers poor mouth Atlanta, it's a commuter city, different from most places you'll go. Beautiful women, nice weather.
Relax.
Yeah, I kind of like
trying to
Atlanta.
make jokes, man.
No one's even fucking saying Atlanta isn't a cool place.
No Falcons helmets had been sent. No white people had been sent.
Is this recent, Danny?
Yeah, the audio's not so great, though.
It's hard to hear.
There you go.
I just don't like the Stone Temple Pilots.
Well, because they were assholes to us.
I don't like the music just does nothing for me.
Oh, I love STP's music, absolutely.
I wish
but
I did.
Scott Weiland's just a fucking dick. Plain and simple, he's just a dick. Remember, we all had to clear the stage so we could fucking walk on stage?
No.
And we were way off to the side, by the way, for the people wondering. We weren't anywhere near the action. But he needed everyone to clear out before he would go on stage.
Fucking prick. Yeah, fucking prick.
And he stood us up. He never showed up for the interview. It's just a lead singer douche.
I think that was the whole reason we went to Boston that time. Because we were told we'd be able to interview him.
Yeah.
But he was 4 hours late. You know, the lead singer.
Yeah, man. I'm going to do that.
No, that was
Friday.
the K-Rock gig. Where me and Kenny saw a whole fucking scene go down.
We had that in Boston, too, with him, though.
Yeah, but in Jersey, at the PNC Center there. Yeah. He was a couple hours late, easy, right? 2 hours late.
Well, this was to show up to the gig. Wasn't he in the trailer the whole time there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the DeLeo brothers, one of the DeLeo brothers, started yelling. I've told the story, but the quick version, started yelling onto the bus. Come on, Axel! Come on, Axel! Jesus.
And then finally came out?
Yeah, and then called like Scott's girl at the time a cunt. It was me and Kenny watched. Kenny, you remember? Oh, he's gone. Kenny remembers this. We were like, holy fuck. Look, he's giving the thumbs up outside. It was amazing. But the best part, come on, Axel.
And he couldn't walk onto Scott's bus.
No, he wasn't allowed to. Then Scott Weiland, security guy, because he did try to go on the bus because I forget which DeLeo brother was. He was out of his fucking mind. And this big, huge security guard comes down the steps of the bus and says, nope, you can't come on this bus. Scott will come out when he's ready. We saw the whole thing go down. It was amazing.
Imagine your own band not being able to go on and talk to you.
Oh, they don't talk at all. Well, at the time they didn't.
That's how I am with Rutgut. Yeah, you're going to see that on Friday.
Yeah.
Be very late. I don't let the guys from the band talk to me or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's he sound here?
So sad.
Not bad. That's last week.
Pretty good. Someone saw him last night. You think at this point he's just sick of singing these songs over and over again, night after night? What goes through your head, you think, up there? You think he's bored?
Sometimes. I'm sure. Sometimes he's bored. Other times he's just thinking about what the fuck is the next word of this song.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Let's go to Rob, who saw him last night. Rob.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Rob.
Yeah, I seen Stone Temple Pilots played right down the block from FH last night at the Paramount.
Ah, that's right. They were in Huntington last night.
Oh, really?
And they were on Wednesday also.
Yeah, my brother, I should have told my brother to keep his the restaurant open.
Where were they in Huntington?
The Paramount. They reopened that.
Yeah, I was
joint.
just there. I saw Primus over there.
How nice
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
nice.
I heard it's beautiful inside. They redid the whole fucking thing. They're getting real acts in Huntington.
How big is that?
Pretty cool.
I don't know. It's been years. A couple thousand?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it was on the smaller side.
Rob, what?
I said it was packed last night. And
No, how many
really
people would you
packed
say they could get in there?
out. It's mostly a floor, and then
Yeah,
they have two loges. And
Oh, not even 1,000.
1,500.
Wow.
They're
Travis
saying
telling me
1,500?
So
That's
I'm gonna
pushing it, though,
say
right?
2,000.
Why are they doing such small gigs?
Just figured I would.
That's where they're at these days.
The Stone Temple Pilots? Weren't they doing arenas a couple years ago?
More than a couple at this point.
They did PNC, but that was already 4 years ago,
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even. I mean, that wasn't their show.
Yeah, that was also Filter, right? Filter was there as well.
Well, the crowd has become a lot more intimate. So you were playing these giant venues, and now you're down to 1,500-seat arenas. What do you attribute that to? Oh, the crowd has become a lot more intimate.
Rob, what'd you think? Were they good?
I thought they were great. I had never seen them, and that was one of those bands Pearl Jam's up there with that also, bands I never got to see, and I was really happy. They played most of the stuff you wanted to hear them play, and like you guys always talk about, there was they went out there, they played the hits, they did what they had to do. They
Good for you.
Yeah. All right, very good.
I was very bummed that FH was closed because that was the first stop, and I pulled on the door. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh man!
And I started twittering, and Brett didn't say they were closed tonight, and then I realized you guys are closed every Monday. So
Yeah, I think he kept it open Monday for. No one cares about this. All right, Rob. Thank you. I just realized.
See you Friday, Ant.
All
right.
We're talking to like a bunch of countries at this point. I'm explaining that we're closed Mondays, but sometimes we're not really. Stone Temple Pilots fire Scott Weiland. Offer no official explanation why.
So in other words, Stone Temple Pilots broke up. It's pretty much.
I don't know.
What
I
are they
think,
going to do?
I think they're looking at someone in the Philippines.
They're scouring the Philippines.
They're probably excited, like, hey, man, if Journey can do it, we can do it. We can find a Scott Weiland in some fucking third world nation. I saw STP. When was that? I got to hang with Billy Joel a little bit. When was that? Like, I guess it was the end of the summer.
Oh.
And I was pleasantly surprised. I do believe I came on the show and said, "Oh my God, I was expecting a disaster." And the band was incredibly tight. Scott Weiland looked and sounded great, and I was thinking to myself, they finally figured this shit out. I think he's relatively healthy.
It's always been such a crapshoot seeing them. Like when we saw them at that K-Rock thing at PNC.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Terrible.
Horrendous show.
But I've seen them at like the convention hall in Asbury Park
yeah.
and Roseland, and they were fucking amazing.
I think I've seen STP more than any other band. I think I've seen him at least 10 times. Yeah. Wow. I've seen him a lot. And most of the times...
Sorry, this coach trips the kids.
Oh, right. Is he doing it on purpose?
He actually got 15 days in jail. Yeah, look. He fucking hooks his foot around.
How old? A 13-year-old?
13-year-old kid.
He's flipping people off.
He's flipping people off as... they gave him 15 days in jail.
15 days in
that?
jail. Good. For tripping some...
for being an asshole. You could do 15 days for being an asshole.
In Canada. That's for sure.
You think you get more because it's kind of like assaulting a minor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, STP usually sounds pretty good. I've heard him sound like crap maybe twice out of all the times I've seen him.
Yeah. Well, Scott Weiland starts his solo tour this week where he's performing hits from Purple and Core.
Huh.
What?
Interesting.
So he's doing STP songs by himself.
Exactly.
So the band's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Probably.
Oh, that's the issue then?
They fired Scott Weiland.
It's a big
yesterday. It was a one sentence press release.
Wait, who fired? I didn't know he was back with STP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've been back for a while.
And they fired him again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's doing solo stuff.
I don't know. They're not.
They're probably having problems. I mean,
they're not giving an
he
explanation.
was fired from Velvet Revolver too. It's not like he's the easiest guy to work with.
Cunt this guy is.
Yeah, enough already.
I can't stand him.
I love their songs though, so I'm kind of like.
Yeah, it's really tough because those songs don't
I
get.
really like STP songs, man.
Yeah, like I'd go see him.
A lot.
He's playing Irving Plaza doing like Stone Temple Pilots stuff. Like that's gonna be awesome.
When's that?
Later on, a couple months, I think.
Might have to check that out.
Yeah, that would be great.
On a Sunday afternoon. Getting more news about Scott Weiland, huh? Got fired by the band?
Yeah.
On a Sunday afternoon. Between the lines.
Whoa! Holy shit!
That's a proud moment in my broadcasting career. I love his voice. I like Scott Weiland. I like STP.
Oh, yeah.
They had a lot of songs. This is a song that Scott Weiland did. I think it might be is it a solo song? No, maybe it wasn't a solo song.
Which one?
We've done this break. Atlanta.
Oh.
It sounds kind of Jim Morrissey.
Jim Morrissey?
Yeah, I know you don't like Jim Morrison and the Doors so much.
Morrison-y?
But give me a taste of Atlanta, just because I'm thinking of it, and then we'll give you the update on Scott Weiland. Not the live version.
Oh, it's live
My
version
God,
E-Rock.
man.
That's what they call him.
No, that was Sam.
Oh.
That was Sam.
That's what they call me.
Do you got Atlanta?
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking for his solo stuff.
I don't know. Maybe it is solo.
It is solo.
Oh, all right. I get confused because like when the guy is like the band, and then he does solo stuff. Like, well, no, that's just STP.
That's
different guitar guys
with guys you won't notice that aren't playing.
Well, when you have such a unique vocalist,
right?
We don't have it.
Really?
Whoa!
Son of a merch. There it is. No.
This next song.
No, I don't want to do it this
it's
way.
on our new album, number 4.
Yeah, it is STP.
But we actually really sort of came up.
Who cares?
We can't find the studio version of Atlanta by STP. How about the one with the star up top? Did you do that one?
What's that?
That's usually a studio version if it's a picture.
Oh.
In the bungalow.
Oh, this is definitely Doors sounding.
When you swear that this was some kind of lost track or something?
Yeah.
This is all my love. I love this song.
Yeah, he sounds very Morrison.
Yeah.
She lives by the wall and waits by the door. She walks in the sun.
You think he was influenced by the Doors on that one?
You know what? I hate the Doors. I don't mind that song. You
kind of like it?
As much, yeah.
Well, I know you're a big Scott Weiland fan. So.
I like that. I like Sour Girl. That's a good song.
Sour Girl.
Sour
Give
Girl.
us some Sour Girl.
That's a good song right there. Oh, you'll know it.
Should we do it?
Oh, you'll know it.
Should we call it?
Are we calling it? Oh, no.
D-Rock, can we call it?
Oh, no.
STP Day.
Yeah! It's got the next pick, Sour Girl.
Oh, yeah.
I love this song even more than the last one.
I like this.
I believe it's on the same album too, right?
She was a sour girl the day that she left me.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you looking at? She was a happy girl the day that she left me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She turned away, what was she looking at?
I don't like this one.
Ah, you don't like this?
No.
Jimmy.
She's a sour girl.
It's STP Day.
Well, you gotta wait for the chorus.
Yeah.
You can't make a decision based on.
Fair enough.
Because she's a sour girl?
Yeah.
What would you do?
That's harmony.
What would you do if I followed you?
Sounds very Beach Boys.
Yeah. I like it. There you go. Yeah.
I like it a
I
lot.
like it. It's a good one.
Can we do one Bullhorn song before we move on? Yeah!
Yeah.
Give us one Bullhorn song. Your pick, E-Rock.
You wouldn't sing to a bullhorn, right? That's such a weird sound.
Sings into that bullhorn into the mic.
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty
fucking
cool.
weird.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Live when he's doing it?
Yeah!
Was Cracker Man a Bullhorn song?
Sings to a bullhorn.
Jim, what? You don't like Scott Weiland?
No,
Just because of what happened in Boston, right?
I just think he's
We
a
had-
self-centered, typical singer.
yes.
But I think he's great. I mean, he's a good singer.
We had two horrible experiences with the guy within, like, I think a couple days of each other, maybe a week
Yeah.
of each other. We went all the way to Boston because we were told we'd interview STP. Turns out we didn't because Scott Weiland didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And then me and Jimmy, I don't know where you were. You weren't on the stage with us, right?
I wasn't?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing it because I remember me and Jimmy being beyond annoyed because we're one of maybe 6 people on the stage, way off to the side, not bothering anyone. And they demanded that we leave the stage because Scott Weiland requested it. That he didn't want anyone on the stage. I'm not saying on the stage where the people would see, like way off to the side.
He's a douche.
He's a douche.
And then, of course, the PNC incident where, I don't know, he was waiting for the right time to leave his tour bus, and you had the DeLeo brother there just screaming and yelling at him, calling him Axl Rose. Me and Kenny saw that shit go down. That was amazing. That was a great night. He was what, like an hour? Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Let me sing that through the guitar pickup, though, or something?
Oh, that wasn't a Bullhorn song officially?
I don't remember.
Yeah!
Like yelling into a guitar pickup?
Yeah!
Somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed.
That's pretty good.
Cracker Man's a Bullhorn song. Come on,
It is?
Somebody gave me 'cause I'm dead and bloated.
He could definitely change his sound too, which I like.
Yeah.
What's the Cracker Barrel one?
Cracker Barrel. Not Cracker Man. Oh, yeah, this one. I remember seeing this live. This is a Bullhorn song. Sam, comment? Anything on STP? No?
You don't believe
not
in
feeling
him?
it?
Here
Not
we go.
feeling it?
Oh, yeah.
Gotta break out my STP songs today.
Yeah, that's a good song right here.
Yeah, that's good.
There's a bullhorn.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like talented. I can see on that.
Strip club music? Yeah, it's okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could see it, definitely.
Whatever.
Some whore fucking writhing around on the pole.
Yeah.
Love
You know,
that.
you're kind of shaking her pussy all over the
Fucking
darn place.
fat pussy.
So, last we left you at STP, which was yesterday, they fired Scott Weiland, but now they got Scott Weiland on TMZ, and he has a lot to say here.
Uh-oh.
So let's play this for everybody.
I'm a huge fan.
Say hello to Doug Greon here, the lead guitar player in the Wildabouts.
Is he going to be in the new STP or?
No, STP is not broken up. It's a whole thing to just try to boost ticket sales.
Yeah, it's a thing that they did to help us boost ticket sales.
That's great because it's almost impossible to break the band up or fire you in a way because you pretty much put the place together.
Thing written in our contract, no one can, but no one can.
So what is this they said? What does that mean?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to them for a while, but they were trying to get shows put together, and but we already had our tour.
So you don't know what the reason was that they put that surprise statement out on you like that?
Well, they've done a lot of that stuff in the past before. It's just kind of
sounds weird.
The way they roll.
Okay, because you got a pretty stable career going, and a lot of people are kind of just wondering. You have a lot of fans, and some people were questioning maybe it's because you're doing a little drinking and stuff, which you pretty much cleaned up in comparison to most other musicians.
Well, as far as that, I haven't been doing any of the bad stuff for a long time. I drink some, yeah, but you know, I don't drink and drive. I'm fine. Be all good.
Awesome. So STP is still together.
Yep.
And you're leading it.
I started it.
That's right, man.
Jesus.
Was that in New York? That sounds like a guy that I know doing the interview.
Really? Is it the guy we know?
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like him.
God, if it's him, then let's get him on the air.
If that's him, I don't know what was even done. Do we know?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know he likes he has a place in New York. I do know that. He comes here from time to time. Wow, he's definitely not doing anything. Look at him. Look how much bigger he is. He's obviously off the stuff. That he's almost unrecognizable as Scott Weiland there.
Wow, he is definitely a little chubbier.
Yeah,
chubbier.
He looked like a skeleton there for a while. I mean, I've heard things over the years, and we kind of saw it for ourselves a little bit. Like, the band doesn't really talk to him. He travels by himself on a bus, and the first time they see each other is pretty much on stage. And then they kind of go their own ways after the show's over. It's like they're just pretty much a business at this point. It's walking through an airport, Jimmy. So I don't know.
Oh, boy.
There's trees in the airport. That's not New York. We don't get trees in our airport.
Who's that with him?
That's his guitarist for another band he's doing.
Oh.
Wow, got him in the airport, huh?
Right here.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he stopped. Yeah.
No one can, but no one can.
So what is this they said? What does that mean?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to them for a while, but they were trying to get shows put together, and but we already had our
Surprised
tour.
he's talking.
And what's the new tour? What's the name?
It's Purple to the Core tour. Yeah, so we're doing songs of ours. We're doing songs of STP. I think we're actually back there. And yeah, so it'll be cool.
You think this guy's like, fuck, this is great.
Oh,
Believe
yeah.
I got him.
You don't know
He's
what
talking
the
to me.
reason was that
You
they
can tell
put
he
that
doesn't want to
surprise
stop.
Statement out on you like that.
They've done a lot of that stuff in the past before.
I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
The band is all fucking pissed off because he's pretty much doing a solo thing where he's going to be singing STP songs.
STP.
So they probably turn around and said, well, we're firing him.
Okay.
You think?
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
What?
Like, what, does the band not? Why wouldn't he just tour with Stone Temple Pilots? And why would you? Oh, there's probably things he wants to do.
Man,
that's
there's other things a guy like Scott Weiland wants to do. So he goes off, does his solo thing, probably plays a few covers, a few STP songs, a
Okay.
few songs from other projects
Or
he's
solo
been in.
projects. Yeah, all right.
And other shit. Maybe he wants to try something a little different. You know, that
Right.
wouldn't fit the STP mold.
Yeah, okay.
So I think they're going to be in New York in April. I want to where Scott Weiland's new project there. I want to check it out.
Hey, did they ever get?
He seems way cooler there, by the way, than what we've seen over the years. Because he seems like he's pretty lucid.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, did they ever get a new singer for Velvet Revolver?
No, remember?
They still have no one?
No, they were hinting they were close to signing somebody, but man, we haven't heard about that in a while now, right?
Maybe they're all sick of it.
He blew us off with Ryan Starr. We were in the Billy Joel box.
What?
Oh, that's Scott Weiland.
Oh.
I just read a text from Roland because I thought it meant something here. Yeah, we went to see Ryan Starr, and it was the night I was hanging out with Billy Joel. Like, you know, I was good enough for Billy Joel, but we weren't good enough for Scott Weiland.
What happened?
It was out there in Huntington. They treated me great, and I happened to hang out with Billy Joel a little bit, for real. As we were watching the Scott Weiland show with his daughter. He was so down to earth and nice to me. And we had a little chit-chat, and nothing too crazy. We were clinking our drinks together a little bit, and he was joking, and had a really good time with Billy Joel. He couldn't have been nicer. Knew the show, knew of us, because we know the same people out there on Long Island from radio and stuff. You know, Bob Buckman, if I have to get very personal.
Billy Joel go around saying he saved the show? Did he do that?
Jesus.
And then, what?
Well, and then...
Right.
And then the owner of the place that STP was playing at, like, takes us around and go say hi to, you know, STP. And we got shut down at the door, the owner and everybody.
What the hell's that about?
I knew when they were taking me back there. I'm like,
you knew.
I just knew.
You knew Baby Boy wouldn't see anybody.
I said, "There's no fucking way we're meeting Scott Weiland or saying hi to Scott Weiland tonight." But then, you know, 5 minutes later, I'm hanging out with Billy Joel. He couldn't have been nicer. It's like, really, Billy Joel, you know, the guy that has sold fucking, I don't know, 2.5 million records probably at this point.
Oh, I don't know.